Howdy mates, how are we doing? Here's a part 4 video. I've actually decided to go for a revisit to the Red Bug Slough Preserve. It's actually been a hot minute since I made my last visit over here. As I recall, the last time I visited would have had to be, I think it was in October. So it's been a while. But as part of this video, I want to really explain what it is we're seeing. So, Red Bug, as part of the name, the full origin of that part of the name isn't fully known. But it has been believed to be named after the red mite, which is, in this area, recognized as a red bug. But then, a slough describes a type of ecosystem. They basically refer to marshes oftentimes that occur in isolated pockets. But when there's a period of heavy rain, they all become connected. However, though, this is no longer recognized as a slough, because now the water here is all connected year-round, whereas mostly a slough, it's seasonal. And mostly it was a restoration project that took place at least a decade ago, in which this water will flow northward to get to Philippi Creek. So, in essence, though it's not really a slough anymore, it's still in the name. In addition to this video, I also want to talk a little bit of something called a Littoral Zone, which is directly in front of me. A Littoral Zone is also known as an Ecotone, which is essentially a transition between land that I'm standing on and then into the water. In this case, it's freshwater. Now, typically, there are 3 stages in a littoral zone. So, the zone closest to me is actually something called an emergent layer. So, see those out right up there, for instance? Those are pickerel weed. When they're in bloom, they actually produce these purple flowers. But emergent plants, they have roots that are underneath the water, but they emerge above. Hence the name emergent layer. Now, going slightly further away, where you start seeing more of the lily pads, like right here, that is something called it's like water floating layer, something like that, where you'll mostly find water floating plants. So most of the plant is established underwater, but you see essentially the tip of the iceberg. And then the third stage, the one furthest away from me, that is the submergent layer. So those plants stay completely underwater, such as coontail and even bladderwort, for example. And for those of you who don't know, like bladderwort is a great example of a carnivorous plant. So they like to feed on, for instance, mosquito larvae. So it's actually quite neat. So this is what essentially every water body should have. Not only that, but a littoral zone also acts as a nursery, too, for wildlife. Whether it be birds, mammals, amphibians, and even insects. It's actually great breeding ground, too, in addition. And then, littoral zones also act as a barrier. So what I mean by that is, say you have a rainfall event that happens, and you have all this excessive water that will commonly have various nutrients, such as phosphates and nitrates, right? Well, what happens is the water flow is slowed down when it tries to pass through the littoral zone. In a sense, it kind of acts like an interception. So that way, there is an excessive runoff that makes their way into this water. So they're actually very necessary in an ecosystem like this. That's why we need them. But yeah, this place is really well worth visiting too, because in addition, like across, you have a little chance to see some hardwood hammock as well. So you really get to see plenty of live oak, for instance. So I mean, it has a very relaxing vibe over here. It's alright, you guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you learned something of value regarding littoral zones. And feel free to share if you want. It's alright, you guys. Take care. Enjoy your Wednesday. And Journey on a Journey is outwards. Take care, folks. See ya. Take care, you guys.